Well, we're organizing the conference because the debate on secularism and Hindu fundamentalism in India has become completely politicized. It has become almost impossible to have a free intellectual discussion, to explore different possibilities, and to challenge secularism without being accused of being Hindutva. So we wanted to focus on the intellectual and conceptual issues involved in the problems of secularism, which are coming up around the world, I think, and see how they're relevant to the Indian case without degenerating into a purely petty political discussion. Well, the problem with Indian forms of pluralism and whether or not they'll help us solve problems in the 21st century is that we don't know. And it's actually a tragedy, because we all know that India knows an incredibly rich pluralism, and that there's all kinds of practices where different communities and traditions share their practices. But basically we don't know how that could help solve the problems that secularism is having great difficulties to solve or is even causing in India. So I think one of the conclusions of the conference is precisely that the tragedy is we haven't explored these forms of pluralism and this Indian experience of pluralism as an alternative to build a modern political theory, and there's no space to do so almost. Immediately you're accused of wanting to go back to pre-modernity or wanting to go back to tradition, while that's not the option. The option is to formulate a 21st century political theory and 21st century language, but to explore the resources of pluralism in India to formulate such a political theory. Well, that's going to be very difficult to have a real debate between classical secularists and any alternative position. Because I have a sense that the kind of debate that's taking place is the result of an indoctrination almost, and there's certain things that you can no longer question without not getting any answer. I mean, basically there's no answer to these kinds of conceptual questions about secularism. And I don't know how we can seduce or convince secularists of getting into this kind of debate. The most important thing about these kinds of conferences is how they can show to young people that new discussions are coming up, new problems are coming up, in whether it's political theory or the study of religion, the study of culture, and that there are alternative positions available which do not belong to any of the camps that have been created in India and elsewhere. So I think that's the most important use of them.